Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's going on, guys? Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the Ahsoka Tano show. So without further ado, we're going to hop right on into it. The new Sabine actress for live action here that's going to be starring in the Ahsoka Tano show, NATASHA LIU here, talks about and gives us a little bit of insight here of why she was exactly casted apparently so quickly here for the upcoming show here, and also give us a little bit of intel here, a little bit of details here of what it's like to work on the Ahsoka Tano show, how things are coming along here essentially as an Ahsoka Tano show update here. We're going to be taking a read here from the Direct's article. I'm going to have that full article linked down in the description down below for you guys to check out on your own if you so wish to. As it reads, Star Wars, the new Sabine actress reveals why she got casted so quickly for the Ahsoka show. It's true that she's no Jedi, but Ahsoka would no doubt is one of the most anticipated Disney Plus shows coming to a galaxy in 2023. While Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka Tano is the show's titular character, her series is also expected to be a sort of a semi-sequel to Star Wars Rebels. During Star Wars Celebration 2022, audiences were introduced to the actress portraying Sabine Wren in live action, and fans are now learning more about her experience of being casted and how she got the role of Sabine Wren here, a long-time loved Star Wars character here in the Star Wars community and Star Wars fandom. Star Wars Rebels was an animated series set between the Clone Wars and Rogue One, and which ran from 2014 through 2018. The show followed a team of rebels who sought out undermight on the Empire during the earliest days of the rebellion, with occasional cameos from Ahsoka Tano. One of those rebels was a Mandalorian warrior, artist, and former welder of the Darksaber, Sabine Wren. While she was voiced by Taya Sircar in Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars Celebration confirmed that NATASHA LIU is the one who'll be portraying her in live action alongside Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano. They both took on the stage here at Star Wars Celebration to talk about a little bit of what it's like to work on the Ahsoka show and how it's all been going on here, something we've already talked about previously here on the channel. However, according to her, she was cast in the role surprisingly quickly, even though she initially didn't even know what she was auditioning for here to begin with. That there honestly is very, very crazy, especially with Hollywood films and TV series nowadays. However, I don't really want to speak too quickly when it comes to Star Wars. I feel like this is almost a little bit of a common thing for when it comes to Star Wars, especially when they're bringing an iteration of an animated character into live action. Now, the article continues to talk about Sabine actress explains why she was quickly casted for Ahsoka. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Sabine Wren's NATASHA LIU revealed what Ahsoka's casting process was like and why she went with a quote-unquote Han Solo type of vibe in her initial audition, despite reading scenes from a completely different film that had nothing to even do with Star Wars. In the full quote of what she has to say, in quote, "I have been cast for a year now, so it's been a while that I've been holding on to this. I thought I'd like to hold on to it till the show came out, so the fact that I got to be part of Star Wars Celebration was so special and unexpected. Yeah, I sent in a tape. I didn't know what I was even auditioning for. I read scenes from a completely different film that had nothing to do with Star Wars, so I wasn't told it was for this. I saw the scenes and just by chance my friend and I were like, this kind of feels like a young Han Solo vibe kind of thing. Maybe you should emulate that. We weren't given any other information," ending the quote right there. Kind of talking about her beginning process of what it was like auditioning here is honestly a cool and special thing here, especially for a forever expanding character here that has so much more story to tell here within their story, their character development of where their character is going here in the future of what's going to be the Mandalorian universe, the Mandoverse. Also, the fact that she's actually been casted for over a year now at this point and has known that she's going to be in Star Wars for over a year and hasn't told anybody this is quite honestly even more crazy in my thoughts and opinions. It really reminds me of the Luke Skywalker cameo in the Mandalorian Season 2 finale, of where nobody was expecting this, nobody had any ideas, nobody had any thoughts of this ever even happening or even like theorizing on this whole idea. However, yet it was still kept a secret for such a long time until it came out and surprised just about everyone out there. Now, the article continues to talk about, according to Bordizzo, her being cast in the whole role was a very, very quick process, she says. What she later learned was due to the producer, Jon Favreau, saying that he did essentially really like it. And full quote of what Natasha has to say, and I sent them in, and it was a very, very quick process, her audition tapes, and I was suspicious. I was like, wait, I have an offer for this? I met Jon Favreau later, and he was basically like, I get it, I'm an actor, I don't want you to put through any of the stuff with the ringer here, and I don't want to make you do a billion takes or auditions and tests. We know we want to, and that's really it. I really appreciate that. Ending the quote right there, she says. That there in itself is honestly a very wholesome thing that Dave and Jon Favreau had done here with Natasha, bringing her on into the set here with the Mandoverse here. It really reminds me quite a bit of how Rosario Dawson was kind of cast into the whole live action role here of Ahsoka Tano here, first being introduced here, of course, in The Mandalorian Season 2, later to be seen in the Book of Boba Fett, and now in her own show here is honestly such a cool thing. However, I think the even more cooler thing is the fact that she was essentially fan casted. This is something that us fans wanted to see, and we spoke out about that on various social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, whatever the case may be, and that is something that came true simply because of us fans, for the most part, of us fan casting her essentially out there. As the article continues to say, in regards to Jon Favreau, Bordizzo recalled her first meeting with him where he explained that everyone we work with is very nice, he says, and this is honestly such a very true thing here. Everybody that you see that has worked on The Mandalorian is very quite nice here, especially when you take a look there at the whole behind the scenes there and everything, and everybody working on this show here is honestly having such a great and fun time here. And I think a huge factor that plays into the role of that everybody's simply having fun with this is because they're all Star Wars nerds and fans just like you and me. End quote of what she has to say. I remember when I first met with John and Dave, one of the first things John said to me was like, first thing you need to know is that everyone we work with is nice. Just everyone's nice, and that's just the way it is. It's like, okay, that's a cool requirement, ending the quote right there. As for Dave Filoni, who not only created Star Wars Rebels and the character of Sabine, but is also directing most of the Ahsoka Tano show episodes, Natasha Bordizzo shared with Stage Right Secrets that Filoni had assured her that, in quote, you are Sabine, you're making the correct choices because you're Sabine, ending quote right there. In the full quote of what Natasha Liu has to say here, Sabine is someone that I know Dave has been working on for 10 years now, so I felt a lot of pressure at the beginning, but they've been nothing but kind, and I think Dave and John as well, like, they really cast people who they feel have a similar spirit and the ways of these roles. And so the feedback has been very freeing, because when I go to him for feedback, he's always like, you are Sabine, you're making the correct choices because you're Sabine. And I'm like, wow, that is that's really nice. Ending the quote right there. Just the whole process of how Dave and John work with this is so wholesome, honestly, in my own thoughts and opinions, and they kind of just flow with it, especially with when it comes to who they're kind of casting for these different roles. And I really like the whole idea of, well, you kind of have that same, I guess, vibe or spirit type of personality as these characters. Is almost like the actors aren't even acting all that much, because the way of these characters being casted, it's like they're just playing themselves, honestly, to a certain extent. Now, the article from there continues to talk about, but even though Natasha Bordizzo has a similar spirit to Sabine, that doesn't mean that the actress didn't do her Star Wars homework here, which is very comforting to hear for us Star Wars nerds. In talking with Variety, Natasha Bordizzo confirmed that she's watched Star Wars Rebels, saying that, in quote, I feel like I've just about been adopted into a new family. I know how much Sabine means to you, and after watching Star Wars Rebels, she means so much to me as well. Ending the quote right there. This year's honestly the most comforting and important thing when it comes to a new actress or a new actor coming to a character that's already been existing within this universe here of Star Wars here. That isn't like a low-key diss or anything on the Grand Inquisitor actor Rupert Friend from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show or anything like that. It's not because of anything of such as that, and if for anything, they said for him not to actually watch any of the Star Wars content of Star Wars Rebels because they wanted something new and fresh feeling, especially since Kenobi is a prequel for Star Wars Rebels. So this year's kind of applied in a different type of term here. It definitely is very important here, especially because this is more like a sequel here for Star Wars Rebels, if for anything. The article from there continues to talk about, while there's no doubt that Sabine and Ahsoka will reunite in the upcoming series, when Collider asked who else Bordizzo would like to see Sabine work with, her answer was Bo-Katan. And while I don't want to talk too much about The Mandalorian Season 3 in this video here, something that the marketing and promoting and something that we're starting to see here, kind of a current trend here with The Mandalorian Season 3 here, as the leaked trailer was exclusively shown at Star Wars Celebration back in May. Of course, since then has was leaked variously on various social media platforms here and there and everywhere else. We've actually covered it and even talked about it here on the channel already, so you guys can check out that video. Something with Bo-Katan is that she's going to be kind of like a villain here in season 3 of The Mandalorian. That's just the way that I think that they are going to be marketing and promoting here for the most part for the upcoming season, although I don't think that this is going to be necessarily the complete case here for when it comes to season 3 of The Mandalorian. To kind of see here where they're going to go from there in terms of how Bo-Katan is going to be connecting here into the Ahsoka show and also within The Mandalorian, kind of bridging that gap essentially between these characters. I think that Ahsoka is also going to be doing that same thing here, but more or less talking about Bo-Katan. She's definitely going to be that character that helps bridge the gap there between the different characters here that we're seeing in both the Ahsoka show and also within The Mandalorian. However, it's kind of hard to kind of, I guess, separate the two when it's all one big colliding Mandoverse here, essentially, as we're kind of seeing here with the Book of Boba Fett. It's all going to kind of mush together, essentially. In full quote of what she has to say here about wanting to work with Bo-Katan and Sabine, having Bo-Katan and these two characters being together on screen here. In quote, Bo-Katan, I want Sabine and Bo-Katan to cross paths again because they did it in Rebels. So there's really an interesting relationship that could happen there. Ending the quote right there. And this kind of leads me on to a little bit of a fan theory. And yes, I know that I said I wasn't going to be talking about all that much about The Mandalorian season 3 in this video because this is an Ahsoka Tano video here type of thing. So I'm going to make this into a separate video here, go more in depth into it. But to kind of give you guys a little basic understanding here or idea here is essentially that Bo-Katan's going to go off the rails here. She's going to go crazy. She's going to go villainous, and she's going to be that main antagonist here for season 3 of The Mandalorian. This here is going to be at least for a couple of episodes. That's not going to be through the entirety of the thing. And of course, her motive for all this is the fact that she wants the Darksaber from Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, so dearly badly, because it just means all that much to her and her creed and her family name, essentially, I guess, being the ruler here of Mandalore, to honor her sister who actually was killed in the Clone Wars from Darth Maul here, Satine. So I believe a very interesting interactive type of thing here or scene that we could see here between these two characters is essentially that Sabine Wren is like going to be talking Bo-Katan down and kind of like chilling her out essentially here a little bit. Like, it's not that deep type of thing here, and that she's surely kind of like ensuring her that she's going to get her hands back on the Darksaber. Now, I talked about this. I already said I'm going to be talking about this in a separate video here, so make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel so you guys can catch that video for when it comes out. Now, the article from there is going to wrap up here, and it's going to talk about the Pride of Mandalore joins the Mandoverse here. Sabine Wren isn't just a beloved character from Star Wars Rebels, but is also irrelevant in the terms of the post-Return of the Jedi era that Disney Plus and the Mandoverse is currently occupying here. While Din Djarin, the Mandalorian's relationship with Grogu, is the heart of The Mandalorian, the live-action series has been exploring Mandalorian history, mythology, and beliefs from the first episode in the first season, back from 2019. The Mandalorian Season 3 is expected to dive even deeper, with Mando journeying to Mandalore and Bo-Katan seemingly in pursuit of the Darksaber here, essentially being the main antagonist, as I had already mentioned. Even though Sabine Wren and Ahsoka are expected to be searching for Ezra Bridger and Grand Admiral Thrawn in the Ahsoka series here, something that we learned in the episode that featured Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian Season 2, Lady Tano has already crossed paths with Mando more than once in the Book of Boba Fett, as we also saw. Giving Sabine's heritage and her history with the Darksaber, it's possible that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have bigger plans for the character beyond Ahsoka Tano here. If so, Bordizzo's hopes to cross paths with Katie Saxoff Bo-Katan is likely more than just a wishful thinking here. This is why it's surprising to hear that Bordizzo was casted so quickly here, but at the same time, it's also assuring and reassuring, as it sounds like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni feel that she's the perfect choice for this role here, and us as our Star Wars fans, we're here to support her, and we cannot wait to see her come to the Mandoverse. Her comments about the producers also offered a glimpse of what it's like to work for the now iconic duo here of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. As Natasha Bordizzo shared, Favreau understands what it's like being an actor here. He starred in other movies and TV shows from the MCU, for example, and he is really taking that into consideration when casting characters. Meanwhile, Dave Filoni knows the characters she and the other show stars are bringing to life into live action from animation, and sounds extremely supportive in helping them do so here as well. While Star Wars fans have plenty to look forward to the Ahsoka show here, Natasha Bordizzo's statement should put our rest to any concerns. It certainly sounds as if Sabine Wren is in good hands here. The article ends right there, and as I had mentioned, I'm going to have this full article for you guys to check out on your own if you so to wish here. It's linked down in the description down below. Really, our main takeaway here for today's update here on the Ahsoka Ahsoka show is to kind of give us a little bit of insight of how the Ahsoka show, for one thing, is kind of going here, what it's like working on the stuff here for another thing as well here, and what it's also like bringing the fan favorite character of Sabine Wren from animation into live action here. This is something that's becoming more and more popular and more common here. First seen with Ahsoka in The Mandalorian Season 2, now with Bo-Katan in The Mandalorian, Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett, so forth and so on, and it feels like this is only going to be a forever expanding thing here at this point in time. Now we're also set at the beginning, essentially the entire Star Wars Rebels crew here also in the Ahsoka Tano show, so we're going to have Harrison Dulo here as well. We actually saw her and talked about and covered this here already on the channel with the Ahsoka Tano teaser trailer, which was exclusively shown at Star Wars Celebration as well back in May. It's yet to make its surface here online for everybody to enjoy and everybody to see here, so we're also looking forward to seeing that here on the channel. We're going to be covering that and all types of other Star Wars related news, leaks, theories, rumors, breakdowns. If it's Star Wars related, we're talking about it and covering it here on the channel. So if you guys are into that type of stuff, well, you guys found the right place. Hit that subscribe button and join us here today. As I had also mentioned, I have loads and loads of Mandalorian news here for one thing, and also theories and suspicions here, purely just from the leaked footage here and what we're also hearing here from other leaked sources here that we're covering here on the channel with our leaks and rumors here. I have an upcoming Mandalorian Season 3 leak / rumor here that's coming from Star Wars Den of Nerds here on YouTube, actually talking about Moff Gideon and also giving us a little bit of insight with a big quote-unquote Mandalorian war that's going to go on here in the Mandalorian Season 3 here with Bo-Katan and also including a mythosaur. So stay tuned for all of that here on the channel here by hitting that subscribe button and joining us today. Of course, I think it goes without saying, I want to know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. What are you guys looking forward to here most with the Ahsoka Tano show? What do you guys want to see here? And what are you guys looking forward to seeing here with Sabine Wren making her way into live action, as well as some of the other Star Wars Rebels characters? I'd absolutely love to hear what you guys all think in the comment section down below. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as it really just helps the channel, and check out Instagram on Official Star Wars for more Star Wars related content, link down in the description down below. And until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great day or night. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.
This is the way.